Most everyone knows who Jimmy Houston is. I mean, come on, he's America's favorite fisherman. But what is he like when he's not in a boat, when he's not in a tournament, when he's not on TV? Well, he has this huge ranch in Oklahoma. So what's he do on his days off? What days off? Come on, let's take a look. From the moments we were inside the gates, you could tell this was going to be one of those days to remember. Almost 3 miles to the house, we stop constantly. Jimmy has worse ADD than I do.
Get him, Beamer. Get him, Beamer. Climb that tree, girl. Oh, there they go.
Beamer, the black lab, is the daughter, and Daisy, the yellow one, is the mama. Both are excellent hunters, both are mischievous, and both, well, not as well trained as Jimmy thinks they are.
They're gone, girls. They're gone, girls. Come on, kennel up.
Hold up. Pause. Did you hear Jimmy say kennel up? Here, listen again.
Come on, kennel up.
Try to count how many times you hear Jimmy say kennel up today. Trust me, you're going to hear it a lot more. That was number 1. After about 2 miles down the road, we came to Casa de Houston, where Jimmy and his wife Chris call home. Jimmy's got a project list about as long as his driveway, from finishing the garage to paving the circle drive to burning this stump.
I poured diesel on the stump. I'm gonna try to get that.
I was told that I'm supposed to stay 10 feet away from fire.
Huh?
I'm sort of a pyro maniac.
That's diesel, that's not gas. If gas would be a lot more fun.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah, but diesel will work. It's not nearly enough fun. You create fire, but you don't create, which is a lot more fun. Rednecks don't really like diesel. But
it's like flash.
But if I get too carried away, Chris takes my fire starter away from me. She's done this. She'll take it away and hide it, especially windy days.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, that will get good and hot and get that stump burning, and it'll burn that stump up.
And there you go. The first lesson learned from Jimmy Houston. After almost an hour since we had arrived, we finally make it to the front porch. So this is it. This is the pad, huh?
This is our pad.
So is this where you live, or is this where you come to work?
No, we pretty much live here anymore. We still
Yeah.
got a house on Lake Tenkiller, but Chris said when we moved our church membership, we officially moved. When you move your church membership.
Yeah.
In addition to all the fun stuff like working out on the planting and spraying and running the tractors and dozers and doing all that, plus all that, we got to run the business. And now Chris has got a real office.
Chris is Jimmy's wife and fishing partner. She's the real reason Jimmy is so successful.
I don't have an office. All I have is a table.
But your office is out there.
I don't have it. This is all I got right here.
Well, what he's got is an impressive trophy room. I wonder what his favorite part is.
My favorite part is looking at the lake. The view's the favorite part. We got in our bedrooms the same way. You know, we just got solid windows in our bedrooms, so we look out at night. I mean, you got the lake right there. But I've always, all my life, wanted what they call a great room, and this is not huge, but it's pretty decent size. And
wow.
And when we have friends from China over, they think that this is like the size of a 20 people house right here. This is a great room. They're used to such small houses, but we just got a lot of really great animals in here. And the neat thing about, like I said, the chandelier is all those horns came off the ranch.
I wonder how many outhouses Jimmy has on the ranch. Just hang with me.
We were shooting a commercial over at Bill's house, and on the commercial, he had this lure, and he had run and locked himself in the bathroom in this outhouse, and I was banging on the deal trying to get this lure from him, brand new lure. And anyway, we heard a car coming up the driveway, and somebody, Bill said, who is that coming up the driveway? And one of the guys said, it's Diane, which is Bill's wife, which we've also obviously known for over 40 years. And he said, she's going to be looking for you, Jimmy. He said, jump in here. And so we both jumped into a two-seater outhouse, which we had one of those at our house when I was a kid. I never understood why you needed a two-seater outhouse. It's not necessarily something you go do with your buddies. But that said, there we are. But anyway, he said, jump in there. She's going to be looking for you. And so we jumped in there and pulled her pants down, and we're sitting there, reading a magazine or something. And she come up there and she said, where's Jimmy? Where's Jimmy? Where's Jimmy? And I guess somebody pointed, and she opens that door. She opened the door and she looked at us. She said, "You boys, you'll never grow up." Just shut the door and went on.
From Toby Keith, Barry Switzer, to President Bush, Jimmy's popularity has allowed him to meet and fish with some amazing people. So it's off to watch Jimmy the fisherman beat Jimmy the farmer. We're gathering fertilizer so his trophy lake keeps producing trophy-sized fish.
Come here.
Remember I told you there was never a dull moment with Jimmy? Well, here you go.
What about you, Pedro? Huh? Pedro, ¿qué pasa, mi amigo? Hey, get back. You can't get into that fertilizer. You're not getting into the fertilizer. Pedro. Tu hombre? Huh? Tu hombre, Pedro? Pedro don't speak English. Pedro only speaks Spanish. Quiero que desayuno? Huh? ¿El desayuno? Huh? Pedro. Hambre, amigo? ¿Tiene hambre? Huh? Are you hungry? A mule. A gasoline mule. An alfalfa mule.
Surprisingly, Senor Houston was muy precisa. Is that right? Precisa? Or very accurate with his Spanish. Just one more reason to love Jimmy Houston. After that brief siesta with Pedro, it's back to work.
You got this. Here, I'll help you get the last one.
I couldn't have ever got it loaded without
Woo!
you.
Oh, hang on, Jimmy.
There you go. There you go.
Man.
All right, Pedro, you're standing in the road, buddy.
After loading the fertilizer on the way to his lake, Jimmy the tour guide filled me in on how his playground came to be.
So how much land do you have? How much is it?
About
how big is it?
2,000.
2,000 acres? Did you grow up on a farm or did you just learn as you went?
No, people call us internet farmers. We learn so much of what we know on the internet.
That's awesome.
That's our shaker right there, you know. And actually, on that shaker, what that does is, you put that, of course, on your tractor. You back up to a tree, and it takes about 100 horsepower tractor to lift it.
Yeah.
And that arm opens up, and then you squeeze around a tree like that, and turn your PTO on. It shakes the tree, shakes all the pecans down to the ground.
You can tell Jimmy's quite proud of all his toys, especially the pecan picker-upper. I wanted to know more, and he didn't hesitate to tell me.
It picks up little sticks and stuff too, and it comes up that conveyor belt and dumps it into that bin. And then that bin's got a hydraulic on it, and you take your hydraulic and put it over and dump it in the trailer. And you fill a big trailer full of them, 3,000-4,000 pounds in a trailer, and take it to the processor. Kennel, get in.
Yeah.
Hey, get in here. Kennel.
Hey.
That old drill's what we drill all the fields with there.
Anyone that knows Jimmy knows he likes to talk, and talk, and talk. And believe me, it was all very interesting. Pecan tree growth rates and no-till drills. But for the sake of time, let's fast forward.
All right, Beamer, get in here. Kennel.
As wonderful as Jimmy's dogs are, their ADD makes a stop every 100 yards. It's kind of like herding cats. Well, in this case, dogs.
Get in. Kennel. Get in here. Kennel. Hey, Kennel. I'm waiting on my mama to kennel. Daisy, come kennel. Beamer. Kennel, Daisy. Daisy. Hey, get in here. Kennel up. After Daisy runs, she's got to rest a second before she... Beamer, kennel.
I'm on the way.
Beamer, kennel. Beamer, kennel.
Now you see why we have a kennel count? And in case you're wondering, they never did kennel.
That's good for them running like that.
Oh, yeah.
So we finally made it to the lake, where Jimmy's wife, Chris, was tired of waiting on us boys. So she decided to go ahead and do a little fishing. We loaded our 20 bags of fertilizer. Jimmy made sure that every one of them were evenly distributed on the deck of the Ranger bass boat. and we finally set sail. Jimmy says the purpose of fertilizing a lake is to increase the fish population. You create an algae bloom, food from the bottom up. From microplankton to trophy-sized bass. The more the algae bloom, hopefully, the bigger the bass.
This is the best bag of fertilizer we got right here. That's the special bag. The reason it's so good, it's the last one. Woohoo!
And Jimmy the farmer has some sound advice.
If you do nothing else to a private piece of water, fertilize.
You think this guy should have his own TV show? We left the lake and he couldn't wait to take us to the highest point on his ranch, what he calls the top of the world. Looking out over his 2,000 acres, Jimmy pointed out the local airport, where prickly pear jelly comes from, and even rattlesnake camouflage. I wanted to know what it was like to be the busiest man in the business.
Well, we are probably the busiest. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We probably always have worked harder than perhaps anybody else. I still do over 100 personal appearances a year. I fish at least 4 tournaments a year. Last year I fished 7, all 6 tournaments on the FLW Tour plus the championship. And we do 39 television shows, and so we do a lot. I mean, we are busy, and it's just what we've always done, and I'll be 70 years old this summer, and I can't quit. You take those 2 old men, Bill Dance and Roland Martin. You heard of them? They're old, they're like 74 years old, or 84, 94, I don't know which, and they're still going strong. So, that's one of the good things about doing what we do for a living. You can pretty much do it forever.
In true Jimmy Houston fashion, the conversation jumped all over the place. Golf, cedar trees, even black widows. Thankfully, my ADD kept up with him.
Are you a pool shark?
Yeah, are you?
No, not at all.
Really? I'm not any good at all.
Really?
Yeah, I can't really play, but if you want to hook it up and play a little bit, we can.
You're
I
lying.
mean, I got a little pocket change.
I bet you do.
I do have a billiard coach. She's called
coach?
the Black Widow, Jeanette
Oh.
Lee. Have you ever heard of her?
Yes.
She's pretty good.
I may have seen a picture on your wall.
Yeah, she's really good. She's a top, one of the top 2 or 3 women players in the world. She's on ESPN all the time, and her husband, I keep telling her is better than she is, but she doesn't buy that.
Yeah.
And she's probably correct. It's probably like me and Chris in fishing.
After coming down from the top of the world, we finally had a chance to go inside and chat with Jimmy. Being this successful, you have to know a whole lot more than just how to catch fish. You've got to know how to create a huge fan base. Has that social media world, is that weird for you? Was that weird for you to get into?
Well, it is weird and it's crazy, and we've been on Facebook forever, but we did the 5,000 friends real quickly, and then some of my buddies like Toby Keith's got 4 million people on 4 million fans. I said, I only allow 5,000, and he said, well, you could have fan pages, and I didn't even know that. I answer a lot of the questions on Facebook myself, a lot of them. I've got several on there that I'll answer before the day's over. And, I do it, I might do it at midnight at night, or I might do it in a deer stand, or sitting in a turkey chair waiting on a turkey or whatever. So we work it really, really hard. We put up a lot of pictures, a lot of funny stuff.
It's clear that the game of professional bass fishing is more important to Jimmy than Jimmy himself. And those fans that he loves connecting with are pretty special too.
The great thing about fishing fans, it doesn't matter if you're 60 some odd years old, or if you're 25 years old, you're a fishing fan, is they feel what you feel. If you're a baseball fan and you're cheering for your team, and your team's got the bases loaded in the 9th inning, 1 run behind, and the guy needs a sacrifice fly to tie the game, and he hits into a double play to end the game, he gets booed. Yeah. And they're saying, that's sorry, he's hurting us, he's killing us. You go out there and catch 3 fish a day like I did at Beaver, and those guys come up to you and they love you. They feel you. They feel it. They feel your pain of only catching 3 fish. And then when you do well, they share in that excitement. So, and that's the great thing about fishing fans as opposed to other fans. Other fans get upset at their team and their guys when they do bad. Fishing fans don't. They don't get mad at us. They feel for us. They come up, pat you on the back, saying, "Hey, don't worry about it, dude. Man, you're still the best," or whatever. And so that's the great thing about fishing fans that we don't
that you don't have in other sports.
At 70 years old, he's still the busiest fisherman in the industry, and he doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon.
Come on, kennel up.
Oh, in case you're wondering, the total on our kennel count was 20. Everyone would agree that Jimmy is one of a kind. His one-of-a-kind laugh, one-of-a-kind hairstyle, and even kissing the fish.
There you go, buddy. Get back there in that water.
Whether it be fisherman, farmer, or fan favorite, there will only ever be one Jimmy Houston.